Hey everybody, it's me, the CPS Scholar again, aka V. So glad that you're back with me for another review. I'm gonna try out this Married at First Sight. Yes, I do watch the show. I've been off and on with the show. They've had some pretty crazy couples on there. Some of my faves, the worst of the worst, were Chris and Paige. A lot of people hated Mirla. That was my girl. Can't stand Gil, but we're not gonna get into all that right now. But they did a season 14, episode 1. Now, people, you're gonna have to go along with this ride with me because this episode, this debut episode, was 3 hours long. 3. So bear with me as we get through this. I'm gonna be skipping past some parts if it doesn't make sense to me. We're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible and have a good time doing it. Feel free to make comments. Tell me stuff you would like me to review. I'm here for you. I get as much out of this as you guys do. So definitely talk to me in the comments or shoot me a DM to let me know if there's any topics or shows you want me to talk about. So with that being said, let's get started. There's 5 couples. This first episode was focusing on them looking for their wedding looks, having their bachelor parties, and one couple is going to get married this episode. So they try to squeeze all of this into one episode. They're getting married in 2 weeks. So this episode is basically them telling their families that they're getting married, and it jumps straight into the wedding looks and the bachelor party. So we start off with Mark. So Mark, to me, he looks like, it's Boston. You can hear the accent and everything. But he looks like any Northeastern dude. I know it's not Boston, it's not Northeast, but he sounds like a bro. He sounds like a bro with a Boston accent. He looks like a Florida guy, so he has a lot of mixed things going on with his spiky hair, his tan, but he's super duper sweet. That's my first impression of him. So Mark is getting ready to tell his besties that he's getting married, so everybody's outside chilling. And he walks up, and they're already picking on him because they say he's been looking for a wife since the 2nd grade. Imagine a guy looking for a wife in the 2nd grade. You don't usually hear that, right? Bessie's give him hugs. He actually went out for the show before and didn't get picked. So he was really, really trying to get picked this time. And he is totally excited. He calls himself Mark the Shark. And he moves faster than others. In 6 to 8 months, he's ready to get married, to get hitched, and it scares folks off. He has his practice kids, which are his cats, and his cats run girls off too because he's saying that every girl that he's been with has been allergic to cats, and I'm like, every girl? Those girls just didn't want to be with you, but I digress. So it looks like he says he had a good family life as a kid, and his dad passed in 5 weeks from cancer. Other thing I noticed on this episode, everybody has a really, really crazy, sad story. I think they try to tie a theme of the people that they put together. Lord knows they're not actually trying to do a good match. We all know they do opposites attract and all that. So his grandma has dementia, and his mom can't walk. Her life's been rough. It seems like she has some type of addiction, and so they get into it a little bit later. He says the holidays are lonely. He wants a wife and hot chocolate and holiday movies. And in my mind, I said, whoever takes this on, God bless them, because he has a lot going on, especially with health issues with his family, and he takes care of a lot of people. Then we have Lindsey. She tells her family during golf, while she's blowing bubbles, she tells them that she's getting married, that she was chosen. She seems super excited. They call her the wild card. So we have Mark the Shark and Lindsey the wild card. And she is a lot. She seems, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Grace Under Fire. I know I'm telling my age, but she kind of reminds me of that lady. Blonde hair, pretty cute, but look like she could fight you. So she says she likes to do, well, it makes sense. She says she likes boxing, random traveling. She drinks a lot, which is going to be shown throughout this episode. And she's been left at the altar before, and the person left her right before the wedding. So she's definitely traumatized by that. She said she needs help because the dating pool has lots of pee in it. I'm in agreement. She's a caretaker, and she says it's in her heart and soul. Her mom and dad split 4 years ago, and she has a horrible relationship with her mom. And her dad tells her she's not the best decision maker. So he also says that her future husband needs the patience of a saint. So it's gonna be really crazy because I think the reason they set them up is because she is a caretaker and he has a lot of people with health issues in his family. But the official thing they said was they both care for other people, but they need somebody to take care of them. So hopefully they can come together and take care of each other. Like I said, this looks like a train wreck to me. It looks like some people who aren't quite healed trying to do something, but I'm gonna keep it moving because we have a lot to talk about. Now, we have Katina and Olajuwon. So apparently they both have outgrown the party lifestyle. So we have Olajuwon at a barbecue, and everyone's saying he's an ex-player. They ask him if he's ready. Personally, myself, I see that Olajuwon has the F-boy haircut, the official one, on paper in the encyclopedia. If you look, if they still exist the dictionary, you're going to see that haircut as an F-boy, but he is fine as heck. He could get it, but he'd probably make you regret it. So he tells his friend that he wasn't looking for a wife. He asked his friend about being married because he's talking to all his friends who've been married and their experience. And his friend said he wasn't looking for a wife. He was looking for a night and caught a vibe and got married. But he says all the people around him who are married are happy. So he remained single because he was working on himself. He said he was a cheater, a liar, giving fake names. He has he gave the chicks in the club his fake name Isaac, which is actually his middle name. And he says that's the immature him. So he said, but now he's found his true identity, and that is Olajuwon, like Hakeem Olajuwon, right? He said he lost his father. The father didn't get to go to his graduation, and he is a proud mama's boy. He has a house and a picket fence, and he needs a wife. So he wants to be married because everyone around him is married, and he wants a traditional wife. He wants cooking, no canned food, and he said non-cooking is a deal breaker. So in this day and age, good luck with that. So, I mean, I know how to cook, but I've met people who can't boil water. So this should be pretty doggone interesting. And so we're going to move on with Katina. One second. Gotta get through these notes. I hate when it doesn't cooperate. Bear with me, guys. Yes, Katina. So she was a party chick. It's so funny that they set him up with her. She's a party chick, but she's not one anymore. So he wanted a traditional wife, and they hooked him up with a party chick. Now Katina is super pretty. Like I think she's cute. I think he's gonna find her attractive. We've had times when they don't find people attractive and it backfires, aka Chris and Paige. He dogged that lady out the entire time, even though he was still smashing. But she's cute. She meets her friends at a restaurant. She has the cutest hot pink blazer on. I loved it. She's basically putting on makeup. She parties all night, but she now wants to Netflix and chill with her hubby, so she says. She doesn't have any relationships. Every dude that she's been with has been a cheater. So why would they put Olajuwon, who has a history of cheating, with this lady who's worried that somebody's going to cheat? She said she keeps meeting guys with girlfriends. Her parents are divorced. Her father is incarcerated, so she probably has daddy issues. This is about to be a hot mess. So we're going to go along for a ride. So she basically wants to meet somebody. She wants excitement, and she wants peace, and she definitely wants commitment. Makes sense if people kept cheating on her. And she said she's ready to be vulnerable and ready for the fall. What I noticed about both of them, they're both from single-parent homes. So it looks like they matched them up that way if people who have similar backgrounds. So they've matched two partiers who are from single family homes. Then we have Noy and Steve. So Noy is super duper cute. I think Steve is cute too. He looks like he's like half Asian, half Caucasian thing going on. They both basically look like they have Asian backgrounds. But Steve meets his family at an Asian restaurant. He says his mom's nickname is Worry. He's the last to be married and the baby. So his brothers think it's a great idea for him to get married. He's the Mr. Free Spirit. He likes to skydive and parasail. He was a sales engineer and he got laid off. So why in the okay? And he went to Florida and lived out of his car. He's been freelancing ever since. What is with these people putting people who don't have a job to go get married? Most of the time, that's the minimum to so that people be able to either take care of each other or contribute. You don't go have a man in my thought process that's supposed to be a provider, go get married and he doesn't have a damn job. He wants wife and children, but he doesn't have a job. What are they gonna eat? Air? But either way, his grandparents and uncle and aunt were arranged, so he's all about this married at first sight life. He thinks it's gonna be great for him, and he's hoping to find his forever love. Noy, on the other hand, is known as shy but noisy. She has an alter ego. Like you can tell Noy is a freak. Noy is a freak. She's a party girl hidden in a good girl, if you want to use roles. Look, she's a hopeless romantic. She has flown around the world for love. She's from a refugee family from Laos. She has a big family, and she feels like love. You prove love through adversity. So as this channel goes on, you're gonna know that I'm very anti-struggle love. But people are gonna, people things happen in life and they get through adversity, and if they can stay together, that's great. She basically says she wants someone that feels like home, that she could be herself around. So it looks like for both of them, they're both dreamers and adventurers and have a strong desire to have children. So that's why they set those two up. Now we have Jasmina and Michael, and supposedly they both got put together to create large families. From what I saw, I think that Jasmina is Jamaican and Michael, and I think his nickname is Kel, seems to be Haitian. So that's a nice little mix. So Jasmine has horrible luck with relationships and who she chooses. It's pretty funny because she is drop dead gorgeous. She is stunning. So they say that's usually who it happens to. You think the pretty girls have all the luck with relationships, but that's not always the case. So she always she says it's not me, it's them. She says she's attracted to emotionally unavailable men. Join the club. She was in a relationship with someone who wanted to hoe. I'm going to say that was an ex. Before he settled down, he tried to come back, and she said no. The last person she was involved with had a baby behind her back. She takes marriage very seriously and has not been around too many successful relationships. Her biological mom walked out on her and her sister. We don't know what people's story is, but it's like two pretty little girls who left them. Dad got remarried to the stepmom, and she loves the stepmom. Then her dad and the stepmom got divorced, and he moved back to Jamaica, and the stepmom took custody of them, and that is who she calls her mom. And that lady looks young as heck. I don't know how old that lady was when she went through all those marriages and divorces, the mom. But for her to take on two little girls, and now the stepdad seems to love them as well. I think it's a really awesome blended family story. So I mean, it shows that your family is not always your blood, that it can be chosen, right? So good. I love that story. So she wants someone who makes her laugh while making her a better person. She wants someone who doesn't play games, and everybody's worried because the mom is like terrified because she doesn't want her to get hurt again, which most moms, care about their kids. So now we have Michael. He's at a dinner at home, and he tells his sisters, because he thinks they're critical to his success, that he's getting married. They're super excited. He's a trainer. He wants children. The father, the mother, and the brother have all passed away. So, I mean, it makes sense that he says he's a lone wolf that processes things on his own. I cannot stand that. Me personally, I cannot stand that. Communicate. So he's a lone wolf that processes things on his own, who's getting connected to a girl who's tired of emotionally unavailable men. What are y'all doing, experts? What are y'all doing? I guess it's for ratings. You got us sucked in, so I don't even know. But he says he doesn't fully give himself to people, so he amplifies negative. He can be like, your toenail too long, you gotta go. So he uses anything he can to justify not committing. And this is one little petty moment. The sisters are beautiful. They were very nice, but I'm not sure when they do these shows. Most of the time, people, I think they were being very real, because the sister even had her little shirt with the holes with. They ain't tell the poor girl to go change her shirt or anything, and I'm like, oh my god, the setup is real. They always have black people looking crazy on TV, but I digress. Like I said, the brother tells him that he needs to learn to compromise. So we have a no nonsense Jasmina that doesn't want to play games, doesn't want a cheater, doesn't want an emotionally unavailable man. They hooked her up with Michael, who doesn't compromise and is a lone wolf that processes stuff that on his own and tends to shut down. But they say that they hooked them up because they're both highly compassionate, and it looks to me that both of them are stubborn. So this is gonna be crazy as heck this season. I'm gonna try to go along for the ride. Like I said, come along with me. We can at least get this through together. You don't have to sit through that whole 3 hours. Like I'll watch it for you, and we can process it together, right? So next we have Alyssa and Chris. Chris, who to me, he's on the chipmunk side of the game. He's like a little chipmunk. He's cute. I'm trying to figure out. We're going to be nice because everybody's beautiful, but like his face, he's nothing that I would be attracted to. And heck, he probably wouldn't think I was cute either. So it is what it is. But he's Mr. Monogamy. He's telling his mom. He lied to her and said he was going to be on a real estate show. That sounds like Mel and Martell then, but we'll talk about that later on my Arion video. She was genuinely shocked that he was getting married. He's a serial monogamist, plays disc golf, which I thought that was really cool. Like, it was golf, but you're throwing it like a frisbee or a disc. And he says you could tell that with that game that there are no girls, not that many girls that he comes around. But he's a real estate agent. He says he's bad at picking. He's always picking up girls at bars. But he wants a best friend. He always talks about. He says that he usually waits a year because he dates people who are not good enough. And mom asked him, "What are you gonna do if you get to the altar and she's not put together?" And they pan to the side, they cut away because they know that's usually what happens on this show. So we have Alyssa. So she meets her mom and Alyssa's cute. Alyssa meets her mom at this beautiful farm, and her mom are best friends. She has a dog named Penelope, who she says needs to be in the wedding. Her job is she matches dogs with adoptive families. She rides horses and loves farms. She's the only single person out of her friends. She went looking for engagement rings. She had a dude. They went looking for engagement rings together. Then one time he came home, he was like, "Don't bother making dinner because we're breaking up." So, which is cold-blooded, boy. So she says she has a pattern of dating dudes that don't work. She needs somebody to be kind and caring. And the mom was like, she loves completely and deeply. And so they say they were matched because they both have ambition and they're passionate about their hobbies and they're both straightforward. So I guess, what the heck is that man's name again? Chris. Chris is passionate about his disc golf, and Alyssa's passionate about her horses and stuff. And maybe they'll make a good match. I can't tell yet because they're both kind of quiet. So that's all the couples. And so let's get to them getting ready to do their bachelor party. Well, they do the first meetup first, right? And Mark is turned up. Like his energy is so high that it's like I think it would be hard to keep up with him. And someone said he's a classic New England guy because he has the accent and the attitude, and so they kind of all meet together. And the girls start talking about the age range that they like. Alyssa says she likes older men, and I do believe that Chris is older than her, so that's going to work. Lindsey, the crazy woman, says that she gave them free range on looks. She said just as long as they have no belly or baby teeth, she is good. And I like, they all say they like nice teeth, and so do I. Like, the teeth don't have to be perfect, but they can't be fighting each other either. We got benefits. Let's go to the dentist together. You know, we can make it a date. Let's get it popping. So they switch over to Olajuwon, and he says attraction is huge. If a girl is not attracted to you, you got to try to win her over with your charms. I doubt that he has that problem because he looks good. But the men are all concerned that the women won't like them looks wise or their life decisions. I guess they mean their careers or how they've worked out in the past. So, bounce me all the way the heck back to it. Yep. So they start talking about if their parents are supportive. So everybody says yes, except for Lindsey, who busts out crying. She says her mom is unkind. Her mom is fickle, and she doesn't know if the mom is going to even show up for the wedding, which is super sad. So it looks like everybody has family issues on this go round, and they calm her down, like everybody has their stuff. They ask why they're here. Everybody goes through what they came for. I'm not gonna repeat that again because they kind of got deep when they already introduced themselves. But just a little highlight. Olajuwon says he meets his chicks on Facebook. His words, not mine. He had different identities. Katina says she always ends up being a side chick. Alyssa tells her breakup over dinner story. Everybody's saying that Mark, because he has all the energy and he's like in your face, he's aggressive, but his heart is on his sleeve. Chris, Mr. Monogamy as he's known, has 1 to 2 year relationships. Mike is picky and a runner. Thinks this will he thinks that him going on Married at First Sight is gonna make him stay and not run. I'm like, in what world? Where, sir? Where? Like, if you're a runner, you're probably gonna run. So, and then Jasmina is a fixer. So he's going to be all ticked off. She's going to be trying to figure out why, try to fix it, and she's going to get frustrated and probably walk away. Lindsey was talking about Jasmine. Felt the same way about Jasmina. I did. They were talking to Lindsey. It seems like they're focused on her, and she basically sweats Jasmina, saying how she looks like Naomi Campbell. She's beautiful. She did it for like 2 straight minutes. And it was so funny because Lindsey also emphasized not only does she not want baby teeth and bellies, she wants the person not to have any small dogs or a small peen. So take that as you will. Alyssa does not like Lindsey. You can tell when 2 people are in a room. It seems like Alyssa's more quiet and reserved, and Lindsey is like balls to the wall crazy. And so, of course, they were going to clash. And it looks like this is going to be another pet season because everybody keeps talking about cats and dogs. And Chris calls him as a self-proclaimed cat man. So it looks like Mark the Shark is a cat man and Chris is a cat man. So it should be crazy. Next, they talk about consummation. Olajuwon wants to wait or he'll judge her, while Katina says, she wants to give it popping. And they emphasize that Noy is ready to give it up. So they matched all these people. I don't know if they truly do those analysis to see if they match, or they just get the craziest personalities and see how they can mix them up and get a good show, right? Now they turn over to them getting their wedding outfits. Chris is excited. Lindsey, as usual, says she doesn't care, but she cares about she doesn't care about the color of the dress, but how the dress makes her feel, just like her men. So looks like Lindsey will take every color of the rainbow as long as she make her feel good. So I can get with that. So she said she was about to be married a year ago, but wasn't this excited. That's how she knew it wasn't the right thing. And as she's put on her dress, she looks beautiful. They got the blonde hair, she just looks stunning to me. Mark was excited to pick out his suit. He wants to wow her. The dad, they keep bouncing back and forth. He's saying that whoever her husband definitely is has to be patient, have a big set of balls. Like I said, I like each dress that she's put on, and the suit that he put on prior, Mark the Shark put on, the blue and yellow. I really like that. Lindsey's talking about he thinks that she hopes that he's good looking, And then he comes out in this classic tux. Everybody loves it. And basically that's the one that he chooses. And he makes the comment that he thinks his mom and his grandma are holding on from dying to wait until he gets married. So he's hanging so much on this marriage, which leads me to be I believe that he's super emotionally traumatized and thinks that this marriage will fix everything. Buddy, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. So it switches over to Jasmina and Michael. They're picking out their outfits. He wants burgundy because his grandma loved burgundy. But he says he thought his wife would pick out the colors and he would just show up. He goes from his attitude went from positive to nervous, and his friend says he shuts down, and I do not like I said, he keeps talking about shutting down. He's about to pull a stunt on this dang on lady, and it's gonna be a disaster. Jasmina's with her mom and sister. They were cracking jokes saying that her phone is dry, and what I noticed about her is that she is very statuesque. She looks really tall, so she's very much a model type. Then they go back to Michael strolling around in his burgundy suit, and he says it makes him feel confident. And my goodness, y'all, Michael or Kel is short, like tiny. So I don't know if she said she cared about the height. It should be interesting because it's like they used to make jokes about Flavor Flav and Brigitte Nielsen. It's a giraffe. I'm not gonna say what they said Flavor Flav looked like, but the height difference was so drastic it looked crazy. So Jasmina starts coming out in her dresses, and she looks stunning. She talks about tired of being a placeholder, and her mom starts crying because she's overwhelmed. She's so afraid that this dude doesn't want to be married, and if the marriage fails. Girl, me too. This seems like it's about to be a mess. They go back to Mike, and they Married at First Sight is shady because I guess he's losing his hair. They made sure to focus on that bald spot for a hot minute. It didn't help that he was short, so you definitely could see it. But he was getting back to funny things. Lose the funny things. He was getting sentimental about his mom and grandma and how they won't be there because they're not alive. So it was good to see the family bonding. So then they go over to the Bachelor, Bachelorette parties, right? It looks really fun. The girls are there at their Bachelorette party. It looks like they're at a drag show. Lindsey makes a joke. She's the queen of inappropriateness about it being a small world, and she wonders if she slept with one of their husbands. And I'm like, this girl has no filter, boy. But Mark, he's just happy. Lindsey emphasizes once again she doesn't want small meat, and she talks about how the bartender was cute and she should have hollered at the bartender. Why did she bring her ass on this show? If you on a meat search like a butcher and you still hollering at the bartender, why are we here? Let that sink in. Then we have Olajuwon, who is enjoying the stripper way too much. He's letting her clap the cheeks on his neck. She's doing all types of stuff. And at the same time, they're being shady. They go back to Katina, who says she's not freaky and doesn't like toys. Oh, which is what I'm going to call Olajuwon, wants a partner he can bring to the strip club. How is that going to work, y'all? How? Okay. All right. So, goes to Noy. Noy is turning up. She's the quiet one, but she is twerking. She's getting it in, winding that body. She's living her best life while Alyssa over there looking dry and mad, separating herself quiet. Steve, who's unmarried Noy, says he likes to build anticipation. Noy says she wants that D right now. Not right now, but right now. So, Jasmina said all Michael got to do is get ready for all of this. And Mike is over there looking spooked. So, this should be interesting to see how they're going to play out in the bedroom, right? Like I said, they're just opposites because she says she emphasizes again she's big on communication, and he shuts down. Just a mess. Lindsey breaks down all the brides and shades the hell out of Alyssa. She's like, Alyssa's boring. Alyssa wants to sit in a corner with her friends. And Chris, who's going to be with Alyssa, says he wants his wife to turn up and to strip for him. He didn't indulge in the strippers. He wanted his wife to strip for him. So that actually might work if she's, down to do it just for him. So Jasmina tells her dad, it turns over to Jasmina, and she tells her dad, who's in Jamaica, and she's getting married, and he's afraid that the groom is a stranger. He doesn't like that. Michael is scared, and he won't take down his walls. Lindsey gets married tomorrow, and so she gets ready she's like unwinding by boxing with her brother, who's there to support her. She's overwhelmed and frazzled. She's embarrassed about talking about her family issues, and she doesn't know if her mom will show up. She cries again, and she's going to save a seat for the mom just in case she decides to show up. So then they do a montage of all of them being excited and nervous. They're in their bed talking about marrying the next day. And but Mike, when he's talking about getting married the next day, all he's doing is calling out his flaws, saying his bride better be ready for all his flaws. So now we see them getting ready. So the first couple to get married is Lindsey and Mark. And Mark does not want to disappoint her. He cares more about her than him. Lindsey says she wasn't ready the night before. I've noticed something about Mark. He's cute, but he ain't got no damn lips. Okay, those for the lip challenge. I know everybody's beautiful. We're all great, but I prefer a set of lips on my dude. I don't know. Lindsey tells her bridesmaids to brush up against Mark to see what he's working with. I'm like, you cannot take this girl. I pray to God that Mark got that, because if he ain't got that, she gonna be hurt. Oh my God. Anyways, his mom and her mom aren't there because her mom doesn't like her, and his mom is in rehab. And he calls his mom to tell her he's getting married, and the mom was like, all right, get the hell on. She didn't want anything to do with it. He's an only child, and all he can think about is that his dad didn't want him to be alone. Lindsey's dad shows up for her. They were super cute. He tells her to watch her mouth. She's still upset that the mom's not there, and she just hurt. And he's like, "You got to get over it. You got to work with what you have, right?" So they pan over to the wedding, and the wedding is off the water. It's super cute. Lindsey looks at the rings and makes yet another D joke. Like, either she's encountered a lot of dudes who like had that wood, that schlong, that anaconda, or she's ran into a lot of people who were baby penises, peeing it up. So it's like, because she emphasizes on it way too much. I think these two crazy people are going to combust on each other. And she's nervous, and I can tell she can't handle being nervous because she is getting drunk on the way to the wedding. Only person I saw that was like that as bad was Virginia, with her raccoon ass eyes from this. It wasn't the last season, I think it was the season before. But Virginia drunk ass was the only one I seen that was as bad. Mark comes out, he looks good and together. But Lindsey, she looks drunk and a mess. She's knocking her bouquet around. She's drinking a Diet Coke or Coke. And she's belching like Homer Simpson. But I guess at least she looked pretty. It was just, they both look, when they walk out to go see each other, they both look happy and pleased. You can see when somebody's attracted, their eyes get big, the pupils dilate. He liked what he saw, and she liked what she saw. Although I do think he kind of, I don't remember a belly, but the way his mouth shaped, he might have baby teeth, but I don't know. He tells her that he loves sharks. She says she hates sharks. They spook her. I guess she thinks his teeth are nice. And they both show each other each other's teeth, and they all approve. So that was good. The family, how the family always talks about the bride and the groom so that they can be ready for what you're going to see in the season. So the family says she's quite a woman. She says what's on her mind with no filter, as we can see. His family says he's generous, kind, loyal, and he goes too much with his heart on his sleeve. They did their vows. Her vows were very practical and nice. His vows were from the heart and personalized. he said he's gonna be her anchor, so he's gonna be her stability. It was I loved it, the romantic part, what we're here for, right? He goes to put on her ring, it doesn't fit, and she makes a sex joke. Maybe it's the wrong ring for the wrong woman. I don't know. We'll see. They did the wreath wreath crown, which is a part of the Greek culture. She says she's from Greece, and her family's like big fat Greek wedding. But she said she's only gonna make them celebrate 2 holidays, and then they say their vows and they kiss, and it does look deep and sincere. So even though it's been a purity mess, it seems like it's deep and sincere. So they start talking about living their everyday lives, and he's saying he's willing to change his shift to spend time with her, and that makes her really, really love him because he's changed his shift and willing to spend time with her after work. And they want to make sure that they have a family that is debt free, right? He turns to her and he says he's okay. He doesn't care how much his wife makes. If she makes more than him, he's okay with staying at home while she works. That's a red flag for me. That's a red flag for me. So like I said, I think men should be providers. I don't believe in stay-at-home dad unless it's absolutely necessary. Half the time they dog stay-at-home moms out, so it's pretty weird that they're pushing that narrative. It's crazy. It's a red flag to me. As they talk more to each other, they realize that they're both clean. They're neat freaks. She says she hates baby talk and dairy. And talking about if he gives her dairy by mistake, she's gonna projectile vomit. Oh yeah, that's cute during the wedding. We're gonna talk about projectile vomiting. He looked and he looks spooked. Like he says but he tries to downplay. He says she has a lot of energy, and the whole time he says she has a lot of energy, she's on a bench laid out drunk, about to roll off in her wedding dress. I mean, y'all know what y'all did, Married at First Sight. Y'all know what y'all did. She says she's allergic to cats, but she has them. She's the crazy cat lady. If you remember correctly, Mark says he has 3 cats. So they're going to be one big cat, drunk, shark, non-baby teeth, no belly, stay-at-home dad, drunk, like I said, family, I guess. It's going to be all happy because they're going to be a big, lovely mess. So that's how the episode ended. So I saved you guys 3 hours, did it in under 40 minutes. They did have an after party episode with Jasmina, and Lindsey was cute on there too. But they go on there and they accuse her of being a mean girl, and Jasmina called her out. Apparently, Jasmina's friends and Alyssa's friends overheard Lindsey talking shit about Alyssa. And Jasmina is a sassy, yardy Jamaican girl, and she called that girl Lindsey out for being a mean girl. So I can't wait to see what this season has to hold. Like, comment, share, subscribe, share it with your friends. Let me know what you think about this episode. It was 3 hours long. Could you get through it? I did. Sending lots of love, kisses, and until the next episode, bye.